Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a first impression slash review on the new foundation from Maybelline. It's called Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless, which looks like this. And it's for normal to oily skin, and it claims to make your face matte and look poreless. It doesn't say anything about long lasting, so I don't know if there's the amount of hours attached to it. But I picked mine up in 310, which is the only color that remotely looked like it would match me at the presentation at Harmon's. And at Harmon's it was like $6.50 or maybe close to $7. There's also a powder that was released with this, but again I couldn't find one in my color. And then there's also new concealers and primers that Maybelline released. Again, I couldn't find any really that I wanted to try out, but I did pick up the foundation to see how that worked out. I'm gonna use primer on one side of my face and not on the other, just to see how it performs with and without. Also, it doesn't have a pump. It's the same packaging as the regular Fit Me foundation. And I'm going to use my beauty blender to apply. Let's see how this works out. Oh, I kind of like how it looks like skin a little bit. It really looks like skin. Wow. Okay, so this is one side of my face with foundation, one layer, a very thin layer with the beauty blender, and then no foundation on this side. While before I do my second layer, I'm going to put primer on this side, on my trouble spots, and just the Benefit Porefessional, by the way. Okay, I'm going to go in with a second layer on the left hand side because it looks a little too translucent to me. I mean, it looks like skin though. It's just I can do a little bit more. Mostly here and my cheeks. It does layer well. I can also see it kind of clings a little bit to my drier spots, which is where I had old blemishes. It does cling a little bit. I'm gonna move over to this side now. Consider buying a pump for this because this is too much for me. It's not runny enough for it to come out quickly, but it's not super thick where it doesn't come out, so it's you don't know how much to turn the bottle. Okay. So I have fully applied the foundation. I like the way that it looks like skin. For a drugstore foundation to look like skin, I think that's really, it kind of reminds me of the Dior Star Liquid, the one that just came out with. I reviewed that on my channel as well. That finish where it looks like skin is similar to this, except this one's just a little bit more grainy. That sounds terrible, but I can tell I'm still wearing foundation, but to compare it to other foundations, this looks to me like skin. It doesn't cover my dark circles as much as another foundation would, so I do have to go in with concealer. I'm going in with NYX's HD Concealer. Okay, I'm gonna go and use the Stay Matte powder. I like the way it layers on the foundation too, so I don't really see the powder that much on the foundation, which I do like. Okay, so it is now, I don't even have my phone on me, but it says it's 8:42 in the morning. I will put on the rest of my makeup and see how that goes throughout the day, and I will check back in with you guys to see how this foundation performed. Hey guys, welcome back. So I did my makeup and I was out the entire day. Literally it's 12:13 in the morning. So more than 12 hours. About 16 hours? I can't even count. So about 16 hours I was out. And I have to say I am satisfied with this. I know I look very oily right now on my forehead, but for the fact that my T-zone right here Part of my T-zone is actually pretty toned down. I'm super impressed with this. It only dissipated a little bit right here in my I have a little bit of like reddish areas right here, but I'm actually like when at work or whatever I do, like I use a phone, I actually hold it on this side, so my foundation tends to break up a little bit more on the left side, but on this side it didn't really break up as much as it did on this side. So this I kind of attribute to the fact that I have more wear and tear on my face on the left hand side. And for the oil production, I noticed that my forehead is where I got the most oily. But for the parts of my cheek that are usually oily, this did really, really well. This side I used with primer, and I can definitely notice a difference. I used the Porefessional. You can't really, I don't know if you can really pick it up, but this side, the pores do look smaller than this side. So this is no primer and nothing at all underneath this foundation, and on top of it I just have like the Rimmel Stay Matte. But I did notice that just oily, like normal to oily, this again will cling to your very small dry patches, because I have kind of dry patches around here a little bit, just literally a little bit, but it did cling on to that. I'm still impressed that it looks like skin. I didn't really feel like I was wearing makeup all day. I mean, besides the fact that I'm super, super oily, and I'm gonna blot right now just to show you guys how much, oh my god, that's so much oil, I produced. This is a full day, by the way. This is 16 hours of wear. This is, oh my gosh, I'm actually really impressed. Even though I have so much oil right now, I have a lot of oil right now, but for the fact that this area looks so well kept, and I only really had a rush of oil production on my forehead, I think this is an awesome foundation for $6-7. I don't know if it can replace my L'Oreal True Match, only because I'm so used to it. I mean, I was super impressed with the application. I felt that it looked like skin. It blended beautifully with the Beauty Blender. It just layered perfectly when I wanted to do more than one layer. To me, it just looked, I'm really impressed. It's just, so I'm gonna give this a 7 out of 10 only because it didn't really keep me super poreless. Like, it didn't look poreless on my trouble areas as good as it does with primer. Also, it did keep me matte for a few hours, even though it doesn't claim to be super long lasting. It kept me matte for about 6 hours, which is kind of like average with other foundations like the L'Oreal True Match. So it didn't keep me super matte for like the whole day, especially with the oil breaking through on my forehead. And then third, I took off a point because it creased on my upper, like on my eyelids. You probably can't tell now because I wiped it off, but there was a foundation crease on my lids. So you will need primer with this foundation. However, I think the way that it applied, the way it looked like skin, I think it really does, honestly, for $6 to $7, I think it's a really good foundation. Also, be cautious if you have, dry patches, it will cling to it. So don't layer too much on your dry patches. Alright, so if you guys check this out, let me know your comments and your thoughts. And again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video.